What's up, guys? I wanted to make a video about if you only had one style of lifting to do in the gym and you're an athlete, you want to get more explosive, you want to run faster, jump higher, what type of lifting should that be? For me, 100% it's Olympic lifting. I'm going to explain why.
Oh, it just looks so effortless.
Okay, so the first reason would be something called transfer of training. Basically, if you do one thing, how many other aspects of being athletic does it influence? For instance, if you're a bodybuilder, you do a bicep curl, you get better at bicep curls, but how is that going to influence anything else? Probably not a lot. If you learn how to clean and jerk really, really well, probably, and you get a lot stronger in that, you're probably going to start jumping higher, probably going to run faster, you're going to squat a lot, you're going to get stronger, your mobility is going to be a lot better, and it'll even transfer over to weird exercises like if all you've done is Olympic lifting and somebody gives you a Bulgarian split squat and tells you to do it, you're probably going to be able to do it no problem because of all of the reasons I'm going to go over right now. Okay, so reason number 2 would be the rate of force development that you develop Olympic lifting. Rate of force development, it's simply how fast you can display strength, which is much more important if you're an athlete, you want to be explosive, than just being strong. Being strong is important, but we want to display that strength quickly. That's why I would take somebody that can clean 300 pounds because you have to move that weight really quick and reposition your body underneath it a lot more explosively than somebody that can just front squat a lot of weight. Number 3, this one's often really overlooked for Olympic lifting, but the mobility that comes from it. We want to be strong, but we want to make sure we're strong through a really full range of motion. We want to move well. Olympic lifting demands amazing mobility through your ankles, through your knees, through your hips, especially your upper back, your T-spine, your shoulders, being able to externally rotate. So loading those lifts through full ranges of motions all the time will give you tremendous mobility gains. You won't find a stiff, inflexible Olympic lifter at a high level. It's not a thing that you're going to see. All right, number 4. This one's especially important for younger developing athletes, but coordination and body awareness. Learning how to snatch and throw heavy weight overhead and clean and jerk and get into that split position is challenging for your coordination. And because of that, you're going to build a lot of good coordination. You're going to be able to reposition your limbs and not only just reposition them, but reposition them very quickly and under load. And that's really important. A lot of people focus on triple extension for the Olympic lifts. Like they think that's why it's so effective, but you can get that through a trap bar jump or something like that. I think what's more important is your ability to not only just extend, but to immediately then flex, reposition your body underneath an external body of mass, another load, and catch and stop that weight immediately. That is going to give you tremendous coordination, and you're going to learn how to move your body with intent and to be aggressive when you move it too, which obviously we could see would apply to all athletes. And I found that kids that are really good at getting under the bar and repositioning under the bar, they tend to be really good at changing direction, changing their center of mass. So it just trains that really well. All right, number 5. A lot of times coaches talk about, well, they're kind of tough to teach. My personal opinion, if you're a coach, that's your whole job, is to teach lifts, teach kids how to move. And the fact of the matter is, if you go to most like Division I, Division II, college strength conditioning programs, high school weight programs, they're going to be asking you to do some variation of these movements. So I feel like it's my job in the private sector, getting younger kids and even high school kids to teach them how to do these movements well. So they actually get something out of it when they're doing those movements in the weight room. They know how to do them safely. It's going to transfer to jumping and sprinting a lot better. And again, if they're going to probably be asked to do it at the next level, they should probably know how to do it the right way. This brings me to point number 6. Like I said, proof in performance. There's a reason that all of these college strength programs, high school weight rooms, track athletes use Olympic lifts and their variation. It's because they work. They translate really well to jumping higher, to sprinting faster, if you do them the correct way. Here's a video of Lyles, the fastest man in the world at the moment, cleaning over 300 pounds. There's probably a reason his coach is having him do this. And there's countless examples of athletes, Jamar Chase cleaning over 300 pounds, that can clean a lot of weight. They do the lifts well, and they use them a lot in their training. And then anecdotally, just for me in the gym, I always had kids do Olympic lifting variations. But what I started doing is we had a couple kids that got really into it, and we gave them Olympic lifting programs. They started Olympic lifting like 4 days a week. They weren't doing a ton of sprints or jumps as much as the other athletes. These kids were mainly focused on snatches, cleans, jerks, front squats, clean pulls, snatch pulls. And then for fun, we'd be like, hey, you want to test your vert? You want to test your 5-10 fly, your acceleration? You want to max out your deadlift? And they would just have tremendous results on all these things. And it really opened my eyes to, wow, these things are weird. They're doing more of these lifts, and they're jumping higher, faster than my kids that are only doing a little bit of them. So we started adding them in a lot more for most of the kids' programs, and we saw really great results with it. Now, where these lifts can fall a little short, if all you did was Olympic lifting, you're not going to get a ton of chest development, which is why we have our kids bench press. You do dumbbell bench press, dips, whatever you want to do. You're not going to get a lot of like vertical pulling in, like chin-ups, pull-ups. I will say though, Olympic lifters, if you do snatches, cleans, jerks, you don't do chin-ups for like a month and you retest your chin-ups, they're probably going to be really strong. And if you have a dude that jerks over 300 pounds, he's probably going to be able to bench press a lot too without even having to bench press. Unilateral strength, we give our kids a lot of split squats, RFE split squats for that reason. But again, Olympic lifters tend to be pretty good at those exercises as well. So there's definitely some missing pieces. You're probably going to want to add a little bit more bodybuilding in. But again, if I had to pick one tool, what's the programming built around in the gym? It's going to be Olympic lifting. And in closing, here's kind of the way I look at it. I look at this gym and how we train our athletes like, if I could go back to myself when I was 13 or 14 years old and I could kind of redo everything, man, I wish I would have told me to go find an Olympic lifting coach, get really, really good at snatching, cleans, jerks, and then do maybe some track in the off season and do a lot of plyometric and sprints. I think it's the perfect combination if you're an athlete to become a freak. And if you really just focus and dial in on those movements and the sprinting and the jumping, there's no telling how far you can go. So I think you should definitely start doing your Olympic lifts now.